If you're anything like me, you can't wait for your new baby to settle down into a routine so you can predict your life with some level of accuracy rather than the exhausted potluck of the first few months. Welcome to Diligent Dad. I'm Andrew. It's my mission to support you in your early steps of fatherhood. So let's get into a little bit of the science behind this, okay? For 99.9% of human existence, we've had no artificial lights. We've had no form of heating apart from fire, which was only developed relatively recently, actually. And would you believe it? No YouTube. So we as a human being and our little babies are actually still optimized for the time of saber-toothed tigers and Adam and Eve. And critical for that survival is a system within each of us called the autonomic nervous system. And it's that system which keeps us breathing, keeps our temperature regulated, keeps our heart beating, even when we're asleep or no matter what else we're up to. That system works in the background, keeping you, me, everyone else in the world, including our little babies, alive and kicking for as long as possible. An adult's autonomic nervous system is very, very regulated, level, balanced, and okay, it can fall out of kilter sometimes, especially when we do funny things to it, like drink too much. But a baby's is consistently all over the place, up and down, up and down. So baby's temperature moving up and down, baby's breath rate moving up and down, baby's heart rate fluctuating significantly, even when the baby's stationary, okay? And the reason for that is that by this autonomic nervous system fluctuating up and down so much every single moment of every single day in our little babies, what that does is it draws our attention to that baby. You're like, oh, he's breathing a bit different now, or oh, I could hear his heartbeat, hold him close and hear his heartbeat and it sounds very fast, or oh gosh, he feels very hot at the moment, or gosh, he feels a bit cold at the moment. Okay, keeping us as adults and as concerned and loving parents, keeping our attention drawn towards that little one. And the reason that works throughout the evolution of mankind is that back in the day when we all lived in caves and maybe we would have had a fire, but maybe we wouldn't. It would have been very possible, essentially, if that baby never made a noise and never demanded any attention from us, it would be very, very possible that we get that wrapped up in getting food in and getting other supplies in and looking after other members of the family. We, in theory, could forget about the baby, and it seems crazy to think about it now that we could ever forget about babies. But through evolution, that was the risk which was hedged against by the autonomic system constantly fluctuating up and down, and demanding our attention consistently, even though there was nothing actually wrong with the baby. So that's the reason that for the first 3 or so months that our babies seem to constantly be unsettled and needing our attention. This evolutionary factor which has to promote survival and improve the survival rate of our young people throughout human evolution, as the baby has had to be somewhat unsettled. Now clearly this can't go on forever because we don't want to be picking up our 18-year-old sons and daughters to console them. And thankfully you'll be glad to know, Dad, that by the 4th month, month number 4, by the 4th month, that baby's autonomic nervous system is settling down, it's regulating, it's making the heart rate more consistent, it's making the baby's body temperature more consistent, making the breathing rate more consistent. And therefore, that's the sense that you should notice it yourself, that by about the 4th month, the baby just seems a little bit more settled, seems able to maybe sit by itself a little bit longer, start to sleep a little bit better, not up as much during the night, and not demanding quite as much attention. Maybe happy to sit in the bouncer for a little bit longer. Now, I'm sure you're not going to forget about the baby, but don't think that from the 4th month onwards we never need to pick them up, because they still will be upset sometimes, a bit like you or I can be upset on occasion by certain external factors, or if we're not feeling particularly well. So it's not that we can leave them in the bouncer for 12 hours a day from now, and I'm sure we wouldn't think of doing that anyway. It's just that the amount of time and amount of energy that we're having to put into settling a baby for whom we can't really tell what's wrong, just seem unsettled. Well, that's the very often that's the autonomic nervous system, which is just this evolutionary survival mechanism that's in every single one of us for the first 3 months. I hope that's been super helpful. You've been watching Diligent Dad. I'm Andrew. Hit subscribe and the bell icon. You'll catch all the videos that I'm pushing out, at least one every single week. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you again soon.